Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of From Zero to Magos. We're gonna look again at how my Diamond team is doing. Well, I don't own it, but I'm running it for this season. The newest Diamond club in MFL, Magos de Madrid. First I'll give you a short overview how things are going. We're gonna dive deeper again into some data and some stats. Talk about the play progression and looking ahead at the next couple of games the next week. So, as you can see, let's start with the overview. As you can see here, things are going pretty well. We are now 5th in the league with 20 points. So, yeah, we've really made a jump from more the lower end of the table to almost connecting with, let's say, the top teams. So, let's go to the Diamond League here. And then also look a bit at our past matches and how things went. So yeah, first let's look at the table. So we are now in the 5th spot with 20 points. Meta Mercenaries 26, Barcelona 25, Home Legends 24, Visione Milan 23, and then we are there with 20. So with a bit of luck and winning some more games, we can even start to look up and try to connect with maybe the top 3. That's why I call this episode Looking Up. I think we have a bit now some space to even look up, because we have a 4-point gap to the number 6 and quite a big gap with the relegation zone. My objective at the start was avoid relegation. With this 8-point gap to the 9th place, this starts to look increasingly realistic, and we might even can start looking up to what is the maximum actually we can achieve. Although with a 5th place, 6th spot, I would be super happy already. So let's look a bit at the past games, how I've been doing. Quickly look at the results. So this was yesterday. We've discussed those games in episode 2, and then we left off here with the game against Samba. And this was quite disappointing. I told you in the last video, this is really also like a 6-point game. You really need to win against this team. Pretty low. I think now it's in the 11th spot or 12th spot even. But this one we lost based on the XG. We should have had a bit better result, but alright. After that disappointing game, we had a nice, I would say, couple of games in. The good thing was that we did win in the cup, and then we started quite a long unbeaten run. Things were going very well. 2-1 against City of Hope in the cup, 2-0 against Atletico Tango, which is a very good team that has finished 1st and 2nd before. Then Londinium, another very good team that's had some good finishes in Diamond League and in the cup too. So we beat both those two teams. Then Parque Ibirapuera 5-0 in the cup. That's really a crazy result. We played them straight in the league, and then we draw 1-1. But yeah, quite a long 5-game unbeaten run. Then unfortunately we had this very bad result, 4-0 against Visione Milano, but they are one of the top teams, one of the title contenders. If you look at the game, you can also see that. Let's go to this game. Let's have a little look at it. You can see that based on the XG, it's a bit too much. Let's say they had 1.73 XG, scored 4 goals, so they were pretty effective. But they also have an amazing team with some really crazy strikers, such as this guy 93, Thijs and Maciejewski, pretty much the best wingers in the game. So definitely not a shame to lose 4-0 against them. Okay, so let's go to our results. We can also look here. So we had this 4-0 against Visione Milano. But then things started to go pretty well again in the league. 6-1 against K Socios. 6-1 was a bit tough for them, but we definitely deserved to win. And yesterday 1-0 against Parque Ibirapuera. So quite some wins in this run. It was like 4 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. And the other good thing is that also in the cup we did very well. So let's go to that final cup game. I really had to win it, or a point was also enough to qualify for the next round. We did win 2-0 in the end. It was also deserved based on the stats. 1.7 xg, scored 2 goals. So I was really happy with that. Let's look at the table of the cup and looking ahead a little bit already for the cup, because I'm gonna focus mostly on the league. So you can see we ended first in our group. That was very nice with 11 points. If we lost, we also still could have made it, but based on like the other result, we were also dependent on that. So winning, we were through, very good. And this also means if we look at the prize pool here, that we already scored 130,000 MFL. So that is very nice. That's already to my kind of shareholders, the people who loan me players, and also for myself, we already got a little payout, and it could be more. Although the team that beat me 4-0, Visione Milano, we're playing them in the next round. So it's gonna be tough. But you never know. That would add an additional 50,000 MFL. So that would be great. So Cup went really well. League went really well. We are, as I said, let's go back to the team menu. We are 5th place, 4-point gap to Londinium. And we can start to look up even a little bit. So I'm really, really happy with the way it went. And to give you a bit more detail about things are going and that I'm pretty happy and why I'm so happy with that, let's look at some data. Let's dive a bit deeper. Yeah, so like last time, I have kind of gathered some data to give you a better idea how things are going. And here we have the basic league stats. So as I just showed you, we played 7 games, 4 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. So this means we gathered 13 points. That is a very nice average of 1.85 points per game. If we keep this going, we definitely gonna survive. We really have to mess up now if we are still gonna relegate. I think 1 point per game is kind of the relegation, the minimum. So 1.85 is really good. Scored 10 goals, 1.6 per game. That also is a very good ratio, although those 6 goals against K Socios kind of screwed the data here. So in the other games we could have scored a bit more, but also only conceded 7 goals. So only 1 goal per game conceded. So on average. So if we then leave out the Visione Milano game, that is really good. So we're doing pretty well defensively too. If you look at the offensive stats, so those 7 games we had 31 shots on target and scored 11 goals out of that with an XG of 10.31. So this means we're still doing better than the XG. Not as much as last time, but plus 0.7 if you do goals minus XG. So that's pretty good. We are using the chances we have even a little bit more. Then defensively, so played 7 games. We also had 31 shots on target again, actually. But the other team scored 7 goals with all the other teams together, I mean, with an XG of 9.27. And this means that they had a negative value of 2.27. So the opposition is scoring below expectation. So this can mean we got a bit lucky. It also can mean that we are just like doing well and that they are getting XG, but from more far away or less good chances. But this is a good sign. So somehow, whatever it is, they are scoring less than their XG. So we are scoring a bit more, and the opposite teams, they are scoring less. Then if we compare the first 5 games versus the last 7 games, things are also looking much better. So points, we went from 1.4 to 1.85 per game. Goals, this is the only stat that went down. So we went from 2 to 1.6 per game. But that's also compensated with that the goals of the opposition went from 2.2 to 1. So defensively, really made some steps. And XG went up. So the goals went down, but XG went up from 1.2 to 1.5 per game. Also a good indicator. And the XG of the opposition went down from 1.7 to 1.3 per game. So also we have on average a higher XG per game than the opposition. So that also shows a lot of positive things. Then looking at our best players, goals, Ba is still our top scorer. He's still carrying us, but Tafani with 8 goals is really also showing to be a very good striker. So Ba 11 goals, Tafani 8 goals, and then our starting Cam 6 goals. So the 3 players that really need to score are scoring. They are doing what they are supposed to do, and that is very good. And then 4 other players have 2 goals. So that's also good that now we have a bit more variety where the goals are coming from. And assists, interestingly, well, it's not a surprise for me that Heredia, the left mid, has 8 assists and Ruiz, the left back, has 7 assists. Oh, I see, I made a mistake here. This should be Paiva, the right mid, with also 4 assists, and then Kyria with 2 assists. This is not super surprising because I'm playing over the left flank. I'm kind of prioritizing that because I have those 2 superstars there, very good passers, Heredia and Ruiz. Player ratings, I think this is one of the more interesting stats, is that now McGill, who was doing kind of messed up in the first game, he had a terrible rating, he has redeemed himself, and he's now one of the highest rated players with a 7.4. Then Barcenas, 7.4, and Valdivia, 7.2, both of my starting centre backs. This is also interesting that now my highest rated players are my main defensive ones. So I think this has to do with that XG, that the negative value for the opposition. So apparently they are stopping more than is expected. They are preventing chances, blocking them, saving them, than you would normally expect. So they are really overperforming. So some conclusions is that a lot of things have improved. Let's say the first 5 games compared to the last 7 games. We are less dependent on Ba for the goals, more people scoring. We're doing better defensively. The tactic, I haven't changed anything, and it really seems to work. We are now 12 games, 5th spot, so I'm not going to change it also. And we got more points per match. So things are looking very good. Now it's time to look at the progression of the players, and I can already tell you there are some correlations between how I'm doing and those progression stats. So let's look at that. As you can see, we are now in the progression menu of Magos de Madrid, and I told you in the previous section that there is a little correlation, I think, to how we're doing and the progression. So if you put it at the last 7 days, so what happened in let's say, compared to the previous video, we have a couple of increases, and those 2 center backs that are doing really well, they also both gained +1. And also my right back. So 3 out of 4 starters in my defense. So actually the 4th one is here, Ruiz. So all 4 starters of my defense got a +1. So overall my defense has really improved. That's great to see. So Valdivia is now a 91 and Barcenas an 88. And if you show all, like the whole season, we can see that there has been 5 players right now with +2. And then the rest also 5 players +1. And they are pretty much all starters for me. So my whole team has got +1 or +2. And also the ones where I needed that bit of quality, they have improved. So Tafani and Ba were 87 strikers. They both got +2 and +2 shooting. So where I needed a little buff, because of progression I got it. Same with the defense. My defense was a bit weak. Barcenas was an 86 as a starting center back, and Diamond, that's a bit low. But he also got +2 as a center back, +2 physical, +2 defense, +2 pace. So really nice. And as I said before, Valdivia also got a +1 or even +2. So +2 in total. So the 2 center backs and the 2 strikers, they all got +2, and that is the positions where I really needed that extra buff. And maybe that explains also why my defense did much better this week. So McGill, he didn't gain anything, but yeah, as a 91 goalie, that is pretty hard. But maybe soon, because he's doing so well. with that rating. So player progression wise, I'm also, I would say, a little bit lucky. I got some more talented players, and I got these buffs in the places where I needed them to be. So things are looking very good, and that is the final thing I want to talk about, is looking ahead. So what are like the matches coming up? Here we have the table again. A huge game we're gonna play tonight against Barcelona. So this is going to kind of determine if we can even join the title race or not. If we win this game, 25 points, we close the gap to bowlers with 2 points. They might play against each other also eventually. So if we win this, we kind of connect to the top 3, and we might even join the title race. If we lose, I think the others are gonna run away too much, and we have to concentrate on this mid-table finish. Then we have this round of 16 in the cup against Pistone Milano. They've beaten us 4-0 in the league. Hopefully we can take some revenge. Gonna be hard. Never know. Then Basel, we want to also take revenge for 3-0 on day 1 with the old tactic, as I talked about last time. So this, I think, could be a good moment to do that. Then again, Pistone Milano, Samba, we also want to take revenge against them. So there's a lot of ones where we want to kind of redeem ourselves. Londinium, OM Legends. Okay, so then we're gonna play the rest. So yeah, this week, I call this video Looking Up. We are now looking up with this 4 points, and can we really keep this 5th spot, maybe even compete for 4th, 3rd place? Or will we stay in the mid-table? That's going to be the story of this week. For now, relegation seems to be, we don't have to worry about that anymore. But you never know in MFL. Okay, so that is the status of Magos Madrid. I have 10 more games in the league as a manager. Next week I'll make another episode, how things are going. Really curious. So far I'm really happy. Above my expectations, both with the team building and then how it's going in the league. So, vamos Magos, hala Magos. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, reactions, let them know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Thanks a lot for doing that. I've seen a lot of extra subscribers in the past weeks. Really good to see. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.